Hello. Yes, nice to meet you. Yes, handshake, yes. Yes, nice to meet you. Great. Yes, come on in. Yep, okay. Yep, right here, yeah, you can sit down right in front of the table, and I'll go around to the other side. Okay, so, yes, how are you? How's it going? Yes, yeah. Sorry this was on, such short notice and everything. But thank you very much for coming out, and yes, we at Lunar Corp, we really appreciate it, so thank you so much. So yes, let me introduce myself here. So I'm the leader here at Lunar Corp, and we right now are hiring and looking for somebody very specific for this role that we have been hiring for. So we put it out. We put out the notice everywhere in the town and everywhere up here in the northern region, and then you responded. So yes, thank you very much for coming. And I know it was kind of out of the way because you're with the Sun Knights, right? Yeah. So I know that it's a little bit out of the way from your guys' headquarters, but thank you very much for coming. And I really appreciate it. And yeah, so let's get to the interview. So let me just open up your file here, and I want to make a few confirmations with you about your current status and everything. So let's see here. Yeah. So, okay, yes, so I'll start simply just for confirmation purposes. I do have this all written down. I do think that I have everything correct, but we're going to go through it all just for confirmation, okay? So, to start, your name. Yep, that's right, that's what I got on here as well. Okay, and then, your age. Right. And right now you're currently working for the Sun Order. The Sun Knights Order. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, how is it working for the Sun Knights? Do you think it's, is it stressful, or is it, has it been good? Yeah. Yeah, that's really good, yeah. So, what we're looking for here is, if you were to take this position, you would still be working for the Sun Knights, and you would be kind of coming into Lunar Corp for kind of a contractual kind of thing. So, Sun Knights Order is going to kind of hand you over to us, and you will be, working for us, but it's kind of, we're going to be negotiating with the Sun Knights, and then we'll pick it up with you, and it'll be a back and forth with them. So it's not like you're just going to be leaving the Sun Knights or anything like that, so you don't have to worry. I know that the Sun Knights Order is a very prestigious organization, and it's not something that you're going to want to give up, and we're not expecting you here to give up any previous position that you have with them. So it's kind of a collaboration between the two of us. For a long time, I've actually really wanted to start having a working relationship with the Sun Knights, right? So the thing is about that, right? As you probably know, Lunar Corp has been trying to gain more and more power up here in the northern region, probably for the past 50 to 100 years, right? And so part of that whole initiative is going to be to make sure that we have good relationships with all the other big organizations and orders and everything that are in all the regions, right? So the Sun Knights is from the southern region, right? So we in Lunar Corp, we haven't had a chance to really expand out to the other regions yet. So, and develop relationships. So part of your hiring in this position, if you were to get it, if you were to accept it, is to facilitate and start that relationship between the regions, right? So, yeah. Okay, now let's delve into your background here for a bit, right? So, sorry, just take a drink of water there. So, there's a couple of things here on your resume that really stand out to me that I really wanted to drill into here. So the first thing is the battle that you had at Steel Keep, the battle for Steel Keep. Very, very prolific battle, and lots of lives were lost, and thank you very much for your service in that battle. Yes, of course. So, yeah, my heart goes out to all the families and everything. But yeah, so it says here that basically you were in a small unit, and at that time you were a new hire that was kind of a mercenary in the Sun Knight's order. So you were kind of in the lower ranks, and you were just a soldier. And it seems that most of your unit was wiped out, but yet you somehow managed to rally the rest of the people that were still left in your unit, and you managed to overpower the enemy, and it was quite courageous of you, because you didn't just overpower the enemy, but you really turned the tides of the battle, because you rallied all of your allies, and you gave them courage, and you gave them hope. And that was very interesting to me when I heard that, and I read that. So what was your account of that battle? Right. Really? Yes, right. So yes, I did hear about that, right? So yes, that is also another thing that's written in your file here. So yes, when you were 16, it says that you had a premonition. And this premonition said that something really terrible was going to happen to you. And there was going to be great pain later on in your life. And that you would be faced with a choice, it says. And that choice would influence all of mankind. But most importantly, it would test your character. Yeah, it says that it was quite a terrifying experience for you, and it was very traumatic. I can understand that, especially if you're like 16. Very, very young age to have something like that happen to you. Yeah, quite terrifying. Yeah, great torment and great pain is how it's summarized in my notes here. Okay, so, but there's another thing to this, right? Is that it was also, there was something that good came out of it, right? Something good came out of it, which was that after that day, after that traumatic experience, you started to realize that you had a great ability to be in touch with the light. Right, so that's why the Sun Knight's Order was interested in you, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Sun Knight's Order, yeah. They're always interested in finding people that are really upstanding and really pure. And so if you have great control over the light, it makes sense. You are a very pure person, aren't you? Well, it's been something that you've questioned, yeah, of course, because you had such a terrifying experience when you were young with the premonition. But I don't think that necessarily means that there's no light inside of you. I mean, I think you should give yourself some more credit, because not everybody has the. It says here you have great capabilities with the light, and I imagine that that's very true. It's not easy to control the light, and that's a great gift that you've been given. So, in spite of, this terrible thing that's happened to you, I'm really proud of you, and keep up the great work. Even if this is the only time we meet, keep up the great work. I'm really proud of you. So yeah, I can see why the Sun Knights would really be interested in you. So then let's talk a little bit about Duke Fearmont. Yes, so as I've read about the incident and everything that happened, so Duke Fearmont was a duke presiding over a region in the southern region. So, and he had this whole thing where there was a civilian uprising and something really unjust happened to the people. And so I guess the people, there was an uprising, and so some of them were captured and taken into prison by Duke Fearmont, and then he tortured and killed them. And naturally, that did not go over well with everybody, with the civilians, with everybody living in the region. So then the Sun Knights, they enlisted you to clean up the situation and make everything right. So then you come in and you very, very swiftly and very easily just took hold of the situation, and you reinstated some other noble that's in the area that was very popular with the civilians, and now he's doing a really, really good job. But you personally selected him. You personally selected this noble out of a long list of candidates to take control of the region. And not only that, but Duke Fearmont himself, he had his own mercenaries and everything, but you led a small covert team, and you went in and you removed Duke Fearmont from power without a single person being killed. That is amazing. And again, I think that this, as much as you talk about, having some fears about maybe not being on the right side of history, I think you're on the right side of history. If you have the power to do something like that, if you have some kind of ability to want to put things right and be able to put things right and to use what the light has given you for good, then that is really, really impressive to me. That's really impressive. So I'm very, very impressed with everything I see here. Really, really impressed. So yeah, so let's, I think I've seen enough from everything I've seen here in your resume. Did you have anything else you wanted me to write down? That's just, that's pretty much all I have in your file here. Right, okay, let me write that down. Okay, great, yeah. Okay, right, okay, so yeah, let's see here. So now, I think, right, of course, you don't know too much about the actual position, so thank you very much for explaining all that to me, and I know some of that's very personal, and thank you for explaining to me about the light and the premonition that you had and everything like that. So thank you very much. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to us here at Lunar Corp. So yes, Lunar Corp, let me explain a little bit about the history and everything like that, just so you can know what you're getting into. So yeah, as I explained at the beginning, this is going to be kind of a joint collaboration between the Sun Knights and Lunar Corp, if you were to take this position. And so yes, so I preside over the entire kind of company and everything like that. I'm basically at the top of the company, right? So what do we do, right? So Lunar Corp, there's kind of two main kind of sections that Lunar Corp has been around for 500, actually probably longer. We're not entirely sure how many years we've been around, but yeah. So what happened is we're not entirely sure what happened, but around 500 years ago, basically, there was an explosion in Ravenwood Forest. And so Ravenwood Forest is this secluded, massive forest up in the north, far in the north. And yes, it's quite a cold area. And so in Ravenwood Forest there is a castle, and the castle is Moonlight Hold. And the exact location of it is kind of kept secret, and it's been kept secret for generations. But that is where the headquarters of the Lunar Corp is, and it's been there for many generations. But yeah, so 500 years ago, there was an explosion in Ravenwood Forest, and that explosion happened to be right next to or right on the site, we're not really sure, of the old Moonlight Hold. And so pretty much all of the records were lost of everything that came before. So we're not really sure what took place there, and it's quite sad, really, because there was a lot of history and a lot of different, records of the entire lineage and everything of my family that were lost. So, but the good news is that everybody survived. The entirety of my family, and my great-great-great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandmother, and everything like that. Many generations, 500 years worth of generations, all the way up until now. And it's always been the same family that's been in control of this great corporation. And there was something that kind of good, it's like your story that you told me about your premonition, right? There was some good things that came out of it, and that good thing was that it wasn't just a bad thing. We lost the castle, but we rebuilt the castle. And the big thing is, after the explosion, there was a particular resource that came to be found, and so this part is a little bit more of a secretive part of the organization. But if you're going to work with me, and you're going to work closely with me, then you need to know about it. And so, on the site of the explosion, there opened up some sort of a cavern or a cave, and inside of that cave we found glowing rocks, mystical, magical rocks, and those rocks have great power, great magical power, and they have the power to change the world. And so, that is the true nature of why Lunar Corp is so powerful. Because we've been launching an operation the past few hundred years, ever since the rocks were discovered, and we've been mining and selling the rocks. They have very powerful nature. Their nature is not entirely understood yet. It's very difficult with today's modern science to figure out exactly what's going on with those rocks. But yes, so we've dubbed them Lunarium based on Lunar Corp, naturally. Not the most original name, but it's a serviceable name. And yes, so the general public, they don't know too much about this. So this is kind of confidential, so of course, please, if you can at all do so, please do not tell anybody about this, even if you do not get the job. So that's the one aspect of the job. Basically, we have a mine and everything like that, and so we would be liking for you to take a command of the guard that guards the mine. It's a very valuable resource, and we do have enemies. We are a big corporation, we have enemies, and so we need somebody that has the capabilities like you do to command soldiers and command a guard to protect the mine at all times, 24 hours, 24/7. We have a small team. It's a pretty small team. There's probably only around, well, there's less than 100 people working on the site of the mine and also at Moonlight Hold. So you'll be staying in Moonlight Hold for the nights and then be transported by carriage to the mine location. Yes, so that's the kind of secretive aspect to the job, and then the kind of the other part is agriculture. That's where we get a lot of our income from in Lunar Corp. Is we get a lot of income from just agricultural and trading and everything like that. We have our hands in a lot of different industries, but the main industry that most people know us for is just agriculture. So yeah, but that's not the operation that we really need you to preside over. It's going to be mainly about the mining operation and protecting the mining operation. So yes, Lunarium, yes, could change the world. So I think that's why I really want to bring the Sun Knights into this, because you and the Sun Knights are very, very renowned, just like Lunar Corp is renowned. But the Sun Knights are renowned for being upstanding and lawful and always getting the job done right. So we need somebody like you. Somebody that's upstanding, somebody that's lawful, somebody that's good more than anything. Somebody that's pure. And I know you're pure. Oh, yeah, sorry. So yes, that's the gist of it. That's the gist of the role. So that's the main stuff. There has been some other hazards that you should know about before you take the role, which is that there have been some deaths, and that's why this position has opened up, because there has been a history of some people going missing, some people disappearing, some people dying. It's a big forest, right? A Ravenwood Forest is a big forest, and a lot of it is unmapped. It's in the very, very deep north, and we don't know too much about it ourselves. There's not that many people out there. It's very secluded. It's dangerous, to be completely honest. But I know somebody like you with your skill set, I don't think you'll have too many issues. But I do want you to know it's not going to be, it's not going to be 100% safe, and I have to be honest with that. Like I said, there's a reason why we have a guard, right? And that's because people, there's many powers out there, and they want to have control of what we have control of here at Lunar Corp. So that's something that you need to consider as well before you take this position. There was a previous commander that was in the position that you're interviewing for right now, and that's why the position is opened, is because they have died, and it's very unfortunate, but yes. There's also another certain mystery that I would personally like to see if you'd be able to solve, and see if you can bring your skill set in and help me with, right? And that is, there's some kind of a mystery going on in the castle, in Moonlight Castle, Moonlight Hold. And yes, some people, we have maids and everything like that, and I personally, it was quite traumatic for me. One night, I woke up and I heard a loud crash coming from one of the maid's rooms, and I went to check on her, and I opened up the door, and she was just there on the bed, and she was, yeah. So there's been an issue with that. A few people have been turning up dead, there's no other way to put it, right inside of my very own home. And so it would be my personal plea to you, is to see if you could come in and if you could help me solve this and find out what's going on. If it's a security issue, if we need to, have more people guarding the premises, or if it's, dare I say, one of our own that's been, for lack of a better word, assassinating people in cold blood, murdering people. Absolutely terrible stuff. Absolutely terrible. And it's keeping me awake at night. It's bothering me. The poor families of those maids. Yeah. So that is my full disclosure for you. That's my full disclosure. There's going to be some danger, but you're a knight and you're a part of the most prestigious order that exists of knights. So I think that you can handle this, and especially with everything, with your control over the light, I think that you'll be able to come in and really be of service to us. And of course, pay is absolutely no issue. Many benefits, many benefits, and yes, full life insurance and everything like that, absolutely no issues there. We will pay you very handsomely, very handsomely. We're looking to pay you for your skill set. I'm looking to pay you for at least 150,000 gold coins a year, and that's what you can expect. That's out of my own pocket, and you can keep, of course, your own pay from the Sun Knights as well, because they'll be commissioning you because you're still employed by them, obviously. So that's the nature of the role. And so, yes, I have another interview here coming up in a few minutes, but let's close this down. So, yes, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for explaining everything about your past and everything like that. Thank you very much. And so, yes, we are. I'm going to internally communicate with some other people in the company, and we're going to see, if you and some other candidates are some good fits for the roles that we're hiring for. And so if we offer you the position and you are happy to take it, we're going to send you a letter. I assume you're going to be going back to the Sun Knights headquarters? Yes, so I'll send you a letter to the Sun Knights headquarters, and then you can send a letter back if you accept, and also if you decline. If you decide to decline, I would prefer to also hear back, just because, then I can 100% know that you've declined, and there's no ambiguity around it, right? So I would very much appreciate that, and I also think it's very professional to communicate like that. So please, if you would, even if you don't want to take the position, please decline. Send a letter to say that you want to decline. And of course, if you are rejected, then we will also send you a rejection letter, naturally. So that's how that will work. And then if you decide to accept and everything goes well, then of course the location of Moonlight Hold is kind of secretive. It is secretive, right? So we are going to send a carriage specifically for you to the Sun Knight's Order headquarters, and yes, naturally, since the Sun Knight headquarters is quite far away, it's in the south, then that's going to be quite a long trip. I think it's probably about a 7-day trip all the way from the south to the far north, right? So prepare for that. Be prepared for that if you do decide to take the position, okay? Great. Okay, so I hope to hear from you, and take care. Thank you very much for coming. Have a great rest of the day, and enjoy the north up here. Whatever you're doing up here in the north. Yes, okay. Take care.